like me when it was over. One day in sorrow and I'll struggle to stay sober. Hope to see you later when I get older. I still remember the smell of your perfume. I still remember the day you made me blue. I think I see you but I know I'm not supposed to. I must be dreaming cause I don't believe in ghosts, yeah. I must be dreaming cause I don't believe in ghosts, yeah. I must be dreaming cause I don't believe in ghosts, yeah. I don't believe in ghosts, 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 I don't believe in ghosts.
Ooh, this could be a kill. The first blood there for Ozzy. Emperor's Divide isn't going to do a lot, but still plenty of damage being dealt out by Ozzy here. Norgal's going to go down. There's the Hextech Ultimatum on his Stutard. He could go down here. Ice Slatebot grabs the kill, but GG's going to try and turn this one around. They're going on to Ozzy. There's the aggressive play from Tyson Vogt. He's going to take down the mid laner. Now Rocket jump into the base. GG wants to engage here. The Glacial Prison is going to mid, but there's Dr. High getting out of the backline. The ultimate from the Taric is going to suspend a little bit of this damage. They're going to have to deal with it for a little while longer. The Featherstorm comes out. They're trying to shred through the front line. Norgal going very low. The Talus is going to grab that kill. Now they're going to try and chase down here. The triple kill there to the Maokai, able to escape. Skywish could be caught here. Quadra turns on to the Amumu and down he goes. Now Norgal's in big trouble as well. Forces the flash away, but that's a double kill for the Tristana. We're going to get the resets. There goes Gertzen. That's the triple. Could we see another pentakill? Going to go for Tyson Vogt. There's the Quadra. Can he get the pentakill for our 6th time on stream? He's gonna go for here, and that's the pentakill Quadra on the Tristana. They're gonna bust open the base and they could go for the win. There's the engage, there's the package, and now they're gonna go for this fight. Glacial Prison is gonna land onto Greed, and he's actually gonna go down. Skywish grabs that kill. Good ult from Gertzen will get damage onto multiple members, and this is gonna be the full fight. Featherstorm activated, down goes the jungler. Skywish is dead now. Vitalis trying to turn onto Mr. Johnny. Dr. High going very low, able to dash away and shield up his teammates here, trying to chase down the backline, but it's not gonna be enough. That's the double kill for Quadra, and Norm used well to actually zone him away, and now they want the fight. Vital Point is going to engage. The Let's Bounce is going to grab in Vitalis, and he's going to go down. The kill going over to the jungler. Quadra is going to get a kill on Flounda Pounda, but down goes the Taric, and here comes Vital Point Storm. Sindri trying to run away. Quadra still at full health, trying to deal out damage into the backline, but he could go down here. One more shot. The explosion shot is going to take him down, and Locro takes slingshot by the support there. They're going to engage onto the team. Down goes one Nexus Tower. Ooh, 9 to the front line, going to try and take down Ryox. Down he goes. The support is very low. Weimel and the AD carry forces it back away as Badinsko is now on his fountain. Both Nexus towers are down. They're going to turn on to the Nexus, and not enough response by Reign of Kings as down goes the Nexus, and Vital Point Storm will even up this series. Good afternoon, League fans, and welcome to twitch.tv/ABL Esports for us, closing out week number 7 of the ABL series. I am your host and play-by-play caster for tonight, Yeso, and joining me on the desk, my good friend Audio Adrenaline for this match. How are we doing today, bud?
We're doing absolutely fantastic. Ready to cast another game of the ABL with you, Yeso.
Good. I am certainly glad to have you on the desk tonight. Certainly going to be a good time as we get to see a couple of teams duke it out here tonight. Our series we will be featuring tonight is Reign of Kings versus No Name Necessary. Going to be an interesting series here tonight. Saw some comments from Weimel in the Discord server today discussing kind of whether or not he felt the team was in a quote-unquote downward spiral at the moment. And I think he made a good point that, you know, when you're at the top of the standings, there's really nowhere to go but down. And so, you know, I would say downward spiral isn't really the right term. They lost one series to, hands down a team that is showing that they're the best team in the league right now in Full Send Gaming. We even got to see them play very impressively last night against Reborn. So I really don't think you could be too critical. I still think Reign of Kings is hands down the best macro team in the league. So I think they're going to be really looking to respond to any of the critics tonight against No Name Necessary, and I think we're definitely going to see really their best showing here tonight. Any input from you there, Audio?
I'm currently working on trying to adjust some settings, but
fair enough.
yeah, definitely don't think you can count them out. You really hit the nail on the head there, but yeah, I'm having
technical difficulties.
Something with my mic. I'm only hearing out of one ear right now, so
that is not good.
So I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is. I'm just gonna fix it real quick, but
no worries. We should be into this match here momentarily, folks. But one thing definitely to direct you towards is a couple of things here. One, obviously, thank you so much for joining us, and the easiest way to support us on a weekly basis is to just come out and watch the stream. Remember, we are live at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, Mondays and Tuesday nights every week. So that's obviously the easiest way. Come out and get all your league action here. Other than that, follow and subscribe. Those buttons are at the top of your screen, so make sure to click on those. And if you want to consider donating, donation link is in the description. We appreciate any support you guys can give us, regardless of how you do it. Other than that, any information, news, stats, all that kind of good stuff that you guys do want to get, make sure to head over to ablseries.com. And I do want to point you over there for an article that did just come out today, the Season 3 playoff picture. If you're curious where teams stand kind of in regards to playoffs right now, just based on how the standings are, go over there to check that out. Full Send has clinched a playoff bye. 3 other teams have clinched playoff spots, and that is in the bracket stage. A few teams at risk for the gauntlet run, and some that are at risk for not making it. So definitely check that out if you're curious kind of where all these teams lie. But we are into draft for this first game, and we'll start you with the roster rundown here. Starting on the blue side is Reign of Kings with Ryox in the top lane, Jordan V69 in the jungle, Weimel is their mid laner, Budinsko playing at the AD carry position, and Leave It to Wally 96 is their support.
And on the red side, we have Dylan on the top lane today, Buster Toast in the jungle, Pectus Escavatus in the mid lane, Umyranbra and ADC, and ZGM Penguin as a support. And we are getting through this draft phase rapid fire style. We are already through the first round of bans. On the blue side, we have Zaya, Swain, and Jarvan taken away. Zaya and Swain, really high priority bans right now. Not a lot of people want to play against them. And then on the red side, Vel'Koz, Cho'Gath, and Caitlyn taken away. And then Tristana first picked by Reign of Kings on the blue side. So wanting to get, after banning away that Caitlyn and that Zaya, wanting to get one of the remaining priority ADC picks. Tristana, although she was nerfed a little bit, still offers a lot of safety and a lot of late game scaling. So she is definitely a strong ADC right now.
Yeah, and she certainly kind of moves up on that tier list when AD carries like Zaya and Caitlyn are banned away. And, I would expect possibly a Varus or an Ezreal response from No Name Necessary at some point in this draft. Otherwise, yeah, and there is
the Ezreal. Ezreal was locked in for you, Umyranbra. Probably the only AD carry safer than Tristana would be the Ezreal. Has a free low cooldown flash built into his kit, as well as lots of range, lots of safety. And then we also have the Zac picked up for No Name Necessary for some of that long range engage. We know how much teams like to fight here in the ABL, and Zac is one of those really great initiators to those fights, being able to engage on the entire backline from so far away. But on the topic of safety, we have Tom Kench picked up for Reign of Kings, so just another layer of escape, of peel for that ADC for Tristana is Tahm Kench. If she is happen to get caught without her jump, just jump right into Tahm Kench's belly and get on out of there. Gragas and Taric also picked up. Gragas for the side of Reign of Kings and Taric for the side of No Name Necessary. Two really good frontline tanks. Really looking to be a team fight focused draft for both of these sides. A lot of AoE CC available, a lot of team fight utility for both teams. So we might see a bit of a slower early game this time, as both sides is going to want to let those big frontline tanks scale up before they get too aggressive.
Yeah, interesting to see Gragas here. He's definitely fallen off at the beginning of Season 8. Just has not been nearly as heavily prioritized as he was in Season 7. So curious to see, he could be a top lane pick or jungle, very flexible there. So curious to see where Reign of Kings wants to throw that, considering we have not seen a lot of it this season.
Yeah, and it looks like, I believe No Name Necessary, as they are using a substitute for their top lane, they did lose their second round ban, so they will not be banning any champions in the second part of this draft phase. Reign of Kings, though, have decided to take both Azir and Anivia off the table. Bit of an interesting choice, seeing as they have not picked up a mid laner yet. But No Name Necessary didn't decide to take a mid laner with that first pick that they did have in the second rotation. So Reign of Kings should be free to pick one up here, taking out Azir and Anivia. Really good champions right now in the mid lane. The reworked AP items heavily favor scaling mid laners, and especially with the team fight power that Azir and Anivia can bring to the table, can be a deadly combination in the hands of No Name Necessary. And Ornn picked up 4 Riox here on the side of Reign of Kings. We've seen how strong Ornn can be. We've seen Ornn dominate tank matchups. We've seen him dominate carry matchups. We've seen him do so well up in the top lane. He's definitely a favorite in the series, and Riox will be showcasing him off this game against the Shen. The side when necessary. Xerath also picked up in the mid lane. We have an Orianna being hovered, so we see a lot of team fight power for both these teams. As we have mentioned before, these teams know what they want. They want to get to that later stage, and they want these 5-on-5 fights. And Myronbra is really set up here. He has the Ezreal with the safety of the Arcane Shift. He has the heals and the shields from the Taric. He has the Shen ultimate available for him. And he has the Orianna ball. So there is going to be a lot of safety. It is going to be very hard for Reign of Kings to get onto this Ezreal that has so much built up around him. And so much safety stacked on top of him. But if there is one composition that can do it, it would be the Xerath and the Ornn and the Tristana. So really similar drafts by both of these teams. Really wanting to focus on that 5-on-5 team fight.
Wired Sponge asking in chat, what are our thoughts on No Name Necessary playing without Swift in the top lane? I'm not privy to why he is not here. I'm not sure if it's just a last-minute substitution that he wasn't available, or if they're really looking to sub him out, as you will notice they didn't have their second phase bans, No Name Necessary, because of a late sub of Dialun in the top lane. So I'm not sure why he's not in the lineup. Does it hurt No Name Necessary? In the short term, obviously, yes. It's rare that we're going to see great performances from players just kind of thrown into a lineup like we did last night for full send with Aslan Man in the jungle. That's definitely an outlier and an anomaly. So, you know, it hurts No Name Necessary's communication a little bit. I think the thing that they can be confident in is they are bringing in D-Loon, who is a player that's played in the ABL for a long time. He understands how to, you know, kind of integrate into a lineup like this. So that helps him out a little bit. It's not just like a random solo queue player. So I think that certainly mitigates a little bit of the damage of bringing in, you know, a random there. In regards to specifically Swift not playing, he was less than impressive last week. I think he did a good job after, like, God, he seemed like he was kind of tilting off the face of the earth in that first Olaf game that he had last week.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he did a good job of finally recovering from that and being able to be a threat in the split push in that first Olaf game. But I still think it's kind of inexcusable to give up 6 solo kills. Like, regardless of how you recover, you should not give up 6 solo kills like that. So I'm not sure if it's a mentality issue with Swift going on right now that maybe that's why he's not in the lineup. Obviously, just speculating here. But I think bringing in D-Loon, I still think... I think No Name Necessary is going to be fine there. I think... the only issue will come from, you know, a lack of familiarity with the top laner. But I don't think they lose much in just when it comes to like skill and trading out. Just, you know, based on at least what I've perceived are some issues that Swift's been having lately. So I think they'll be okay. I think, you know, they're definitely not going to lose because of this substitution.
And I feel like if they are gonna, you know, since they are in this situation, they've really prepared for it well. They have D-Loon on the Shen, who, even if he does fall behind in the lane, can still find so many ways to be useful with the team. So even without that, you know, synergy that, you know, that they have with Swift that they might not have with D-Loon, it's still going to be very easy for D-Loon to find plenty of opportunities to, you know, make plays around the map. So he's not on the Olaf. He's not on one of those champion that's going to really require a lot of resources from his team. He can kind of just sit up there and when he's needed, you know, get around the map and, you know, really easily impact the team. So smart move by them to put him on the Shen, put him on one of those safer tanks. And so even without that synergy, they're not going to be too hard pressed up there.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you can certainly make the point that, like, with a top laner like Shen, it does require a certain level of team coordination. But I feel like with Shen, that's so much of a one-way street compared to other top lane champions. Like Shen, it's just the rest of your team saying, okay, like, press R on this person now, and that's the extent of the like necessary team communication when you have that Shen in a side lane. So I think that's pretty straightforward. So I think they've picked something that should work, and like you said, pretty safe in lane, pretty self-sustainable, and they shouldn't have, in my opinion, too many worries about that. But we are into game number 1 here, folks, between Reign of Kings and No Name Necessary.
Yeah, we are into game now. Taking a look at masteries, runes and masteries, we don't see anything too out of the ordinary. The only thing really of note is that Leave It to Wally 96 did decide to take Unsealed Spellbook in the bottom lane. He will be going into lane, starting off with Ignite, but we might see him swapping that out for a teleport later on into the mid or late game to try to impact the map a little more. So keep an eye on those summoner spells for that Tom Kench. And we don't see our famous 5-man invades from either teams here. Both teams spreading out along the line of scrimmage, not wanting to press their luck. Will just be a standard start for both of these junglers starting on the bot side. Might possibly see them meet up on the top side. Neither Gragas or Zac has a particularly fast clear. Gragas will have a much healthier first clear than the Zac. with his passive. Zach is known to get very low on his first clear, so we might see a bit of advantage going over to the Gragas, at least in the early couple levels. But standard starts for both of these laners.
And folks, make sure if you're curious, we did hear audio mentioning some of the runes and stuff that we are seeing these players take into this game. Remember to use that op.gg extension at the left side of your screen if you're curious about some of these players' stats on the champions they're playing, their respective rune pages. Make sure to check that out and make use of that throughout tonight's series. As we are into this first game, some early trading in the bottom lane, nothing too crazy, and ROK's getting the early push on the Ornn.
Yeah, I don't expect there to be too much action here in the early parts of the game. As we talked about in the draft phase, both teams have really set themselves up for those mid to late game 5-on-5 team fights. We have a lot of frontline engaged tanks on both sides with the Shen, the Zac, and the Taric, a no-name necessary, and the Ornn. Ooh, we do see...
Yeah, forcing out a flash in the top lane as Jordan V69 has showed up, but Buster Toast with the counter gank here is going to go fairly low. He and D-Loon both below half health there. So the Zac going to have to go back into his jungle with double buffs, but not very healthy right now.
Yeah, 4 tanks just slapping each other around up there in the top lane, but you can see there Zac walking into that counter gank with only about a... So you just see how much harder it is for that Zac to get those early ganks off due to him getting so low health on his early clears. But
yeah, Buster Toast actually going to possibly go down here. The invade from Jordan V69 and Ryox. They're working on the blobs. Good teleport there from D-Loon is going to save his jungler's life. The barrel just not enough to take down the Zac there after his passive. So Summoner spell spent, however, that's not going to feel too good, but still able to save Buster Toast's life. Good coordination there from D-Loon with his jungler.
yeah, that's exactly what Jordan needs to be looking to do in these early couple of levels. Zac will be an absolute monster in the late game, becomes that unkillable front line, but in these early clears with how low he gets is very vulnerable. And so being able to not only push up there and get the passive out of the Zac, but also to blow that summoner spell out of D-Loon really limits how much he's going to be able to impact the map around him. And Shen, especially once he gets level 6, can join a fight with the press of a button. So it's going to be a big advantage over to the side of Reign of Kings until that summoner spell is back up. We see Zac starting to move down to the bot side, but Xerath also out of vision for no name necessary. They don't know where he is at the moment.
Buster Toast trying to get a gank on the bottom side, but Tom Kench is going to keep Budinsko pretty darn safe there, and Jordan V69 has arrived to possibly go for a counter gank here. Looks like no name necessary will just back away, not willing to fight this 3v3.
Yeah, not much to do down there. Both AD carries very safe, have a lot of protection available for them. So it's going to be very hard for either jungler to get any meaningful ganks off there in the bottom lane. We do see about a 10 CS lead for Budinsko over Umayrenbra on this Tristana. So very good on him, although Umayrenbra does have the Kleptomancy, so that CS differential doesn't matter, isn't quite as prominent as Ezreal is getting extra gold from that mastery.
Yeah, CS leads pretty much across the board for Reign of Kings right now, especially in the top lane. Ryox about a 20 CS lead over D-Loon. Shen, fairly safe in lane, isn't most likely going to give up any kills, at least unless Jordan V69 can show up in the top lane. But his gold income is suffering at this point. We will have an early pause here. Gonna hopefully get this one resolved quickly so we can get back into this game.
Yeah, like you said, although we do have those CS leads kind of across the board for the side of Reign of Kings, it is only about a 600 gold lead for them. So they No Name Necessary, still keeping up, even without having the greatest CS numbers. And even though we just talked about that 10 CS lead in the bottom lane, it's already been shortened to, just 4, as Myron Bro was able to pick up a large wave under his turret. So that CS lead is basically. Ooh. So it looks like Dylan there tabbed away from his client, and then he wasn't able to tab back into his game. So he will just be restarting his client. Hopefully he'll get that fixed really quick and get back into the game. But pretty even start for both sides. Not a lot happening around the map. Both teams are kind of safe. We don't see a lot of early aggression available for either of these junglers. They do have Zach and Gragas do have a lot of gank potential, but we don't see a lot of follow-up damage, at least in these early levels, available from these laners. I expect most of these lanes to sort of be calmer farming lanes. And then once we get into the middle game, once we start getting these item power spikes, that's when we're going to start seeing these 5-on-5 fights around these objectives. That's really going to blow the game open.
Yeah, really not a lot of kill pressure from these lanes, so it should be a fairly quiet start to this match. Weibel trying to get some poke down onto Pectus. He's going to get the stun on the Ori, so shut the deal a little bit with the damage. Dylan looks like he wants to fight here. Buster Toast gets up to the top lane, is able to stop the charge there from Ryox. He could be in big trouble, force the flash away, but that's the first blood for Dylan. Good early gank from Buster Toast, and Ryox a little too far forward in lane and is punished for it.
Yeah, really good job there, picking up that first blood. It's going to feel really good for that Shen, especially when he was 20 CS down, to kind of buy some breathing room for himself up there in the top lane, kind of catch back up to that Ornn. You see, Gragas is here on the bottom side. They did see him on a ward. I think he was trying to take that dragon, but Myronbra and Penguin able to just push a little aggression, pull Gragas off of that Drake. We are starting off with the Cloud Drake, so nothing that's really going to draw too much attention from these teams. Usually not one of the higher priority dragons, but being revealed on that ward, Buster Toast is now in Gragas's blue side jungle, doing some counter jungling. Looks like Reign of Kings is gonna get this one for free. Not a lot of congestion. Myronbra and Penguin seeing if they can, just be annoying and try to disrupt this dragon. Wally getting really low.
Myronbra might go down here, stepping a little too far forward. There's the Stand United. Ooh, good shockwave will grab Weimel there a little bit. Buditsko gonna go low, and Myronbra able to grab that kill. Now leave it to Wally trapped in the pit, force the flash over the wall. CGM Penguin and Dylan trying to chase them down. The stun will land onto the Terrakin. No Name Necessary will just back away. They lose the Drake, but are able to grab a kill in return. So not too bad there. It is a Cloud Drake, new and improved Cloud Drake, so certainly stronger than it used to be, but still not going to feel too bad at this point in the game.
Yeah, and that one kill did go over to Ezreal, so that is exactly what No Name Necessary wanted, but Budinsko just stepping a little too far forward. You see that the use of that Stand United coming out from the Shen, able to join that fight and then taunt flash into Tristana.
Buster Toast wants to fight here, has found Jordan V69 in the jungle. There's the Taric ultimate, will save Zach's life for a moment, but Weimel has activated his ultimate. We're going to go up to the top lane now as they were able to disengage. There's Dylan trading aggressively into Ryox, taking him down below half health there. And Shenq doing a lot of work here as he trades against the Ornn.
Yeah, that Shen is feeling a lot better after that first blood, able to pick up his Tiamat, able to pick up a Ruby Crystal, can now start bullying that Ornn back with that max health damage that he has.
And something I do want to note, Ezreal here, going down, you know, a little bit of gold. He was down quite a significant amount of CS, but he has caught that up, adding the kill there. Essentially, his kill plus the Kleptomancy gold has built him about a 6,500 gold lead. So, you remember, going to feel pretty darn good this early part in the game. He does have his tier, which is stacking up, as well as his sheen. So, gonna start putting that build together once he's able to get the completed mirror mana and start stacking that up pretty big. Ezreal's going to be pretty annoying.
We also see the magical footwear coming in for Myron Bra, saving him that extra 300 gold from having to buy those boots, as well as giving him just another, you know, layer of safety, being able to kind of kite backwards and juke away from some of this CC coming through from the increased movement speed he gets from those boots. Buster Toast just hanging around mid, trying to help Pectus push this wave into the turret. 2-0 lead for No Name Necessary. Although I don't think Reign of Kings has to be extremely worried. Ooh.
You want to go for
Pectus getting caught out
here. Miss on the barrel there as Pectus actually doesn't flash away. They're trying to get out as much damage, and Weimel will grab the kill onto Pectus. Now Buster Toast in the 3v2 here. Dylan has finally showed up, is going to get stunned. About half his health bar just disappears thanks to Weimel. Buster Toast going to get knocked up here. There's the Staying United to keep him alive a little longer, but he's got to be careful. He has his acid though. Dylan going fairly low. Can he protect his jungler? Weimel trying to get the damage onto the blobs, and they're going to be able to take him down. B69 grabs the kill. The munch, but it's not quick enough. Myra able to grab that kill onto Weimel before Leave It to Wally can eat him up on the Tahm Kench. Good roam there from the No Name Necessary bot lane, able to grab a kill in return.
Yeah, Weimel not quite able to get out there. Does get taken down by that last auto attack while he is being eaten up by Tom. But good job from Myron and Penguin roaming up, able to pick up that kill. But Insco did get some damage onto that turret, but nothing too extensive. So good fight, 2-for-1 trade for Reign of Kings in that mid lane, as well as a decent amount of damage onto that turret. We see Weimel also has his tier and his lost chapter, so he's going to start stacking up that tier. Shouldn't be hurting too much for mana. Did already upgrade to level 2 boots, wanting to, you know, have that mobility available to dodge all the skill shots, all the CC coming out from No Name Necessary. Orianna as well, upgrading her boots. Went for the ninja tabbies.
That's Buster Toast. Orianna's still sitting on brown bags.
I have those swapped around.
There's the shockwave used in the mid lane though, as Weimel and Pectus continuing to trade back and forth. Jordan B69 has arrived. Good ultimate is going to catch Pectus and knock him back. The stun does land from Weimel. The poke is going to miss though. Can Pectus escape? Doesn't look like it. Weimel able to grab his second kill of the game as Pectus goes down there, punished a little bit for the lack of vision on that bottom river as Jordan B69 shows up in the mid lane.
Valiant effort by Pectus, was able to dodge out on a lot of skill shots. Took a little longer than expected to take him down, but unlucky, missed the flash over the wall, and so although that would have gotten to safety, he did eventually go down. But Dylan now here on the bot side.
Yeah, but Dinsko forced the flash away there. The teleport was channeled by Ryox, but actually canceled, so that is or not from, that was channeled by Leave It to Wally, actually. Remember that Summoner's Spellbook, he actually traded his Ignite for a teleport, so No Name Necessary turning on to this Infernal Drake, looking to take it down, but Ryox now has teleported down to the bot side, trying to contest it, but it is going to go down. Dylan able to secure that, but we are going to get the fight. Ryox trying to get onto Umira, bro, but his team peeling very well. Buster Toast gonna elastic slingshot in, but he could go down very quickly, and Weimel is able to grab that kill, but not before he's able to let's bounce some team members into his team. Good Shockwave is gonna grab 3. Down goes the 80, carry the kill going over to D-Loon. They're trying to collapse in Jordan V69. Pectus gonna go down to Weimel. Umira, bro, trying to deal with Ryox here, but the shield's not there is a little too much as Ryox able to get the kill in the 1v1. D-Loon gonna taunt right into the top laner, and that's the double kill for Ryox and the early ace for Reign of Kings. Now up 8-4 in kills.
Amazing fight for Reign of Kings. They aren't able to secure the dragon, but they more than made up for it there with the team fight, able to pick up I believe able to pick up a good number of kills as well as a double kill for the side of Ryox, and you can just start to see with these items starting to come through. Xerath has his
Archangel Staff
completed, now starting to build up. Gragas is starting to get some health with his Bomby Cinder. Tom Kench has his Eye of the Aspect completed, so has some health on that item. And with all these ultimates coming in, the team fights are becoming deadly. Lots of chain CC, lots of AoE utility available for this team. And these are the team fights that both teams sort of built for, and Reign of Kings was able to execute better in that fight.
Yeah, and also thanks to some of the good work by Budinsko there in the laning phase, we're able to easily knock down the first tower there on the bottom side. Now we do see the lane swap initiated by both teams. So both of the dual lanes now on the top side. Buster Toast clearing out some vision around this Rift Herald, possibly looking to go for it. Umira and ZG and Penguin are going to rotate down here. And we do have Pectus waiting in the wings. They are going to be able to spot Jordan V69 actually on the bottom side, so they will start this Rift Herald. But it looks like Reign of Kings just wants to push the mid lane. But the wave clear from Pectus is not too shabby here, but he may not be able to defend here. Good Shockwave is going to catch Jordan V69, but he's tanky enough that he doesn't really care about a few tower shots there.
Yeah, Jordan V69 tanking a few extra tower shots for dramatic effect.
Buster Toast could be in trouble here, actually. Budinsko did roam down there. He has spotted out the jungle as he is still taking down the Rift Herald. He's fairly low. Here comes the ultimate from Ryox. It's going to knock him up. The Stand United does keep Buster Toast alive a little longer. They flash in, and they're actually able to secure the Rift Herald there. D-Loon able to grab it. Now, No Name Necessary trying to show up, save the team. Taric Ultimate has been activated, but it's only going to protect 2 members. There is Buster Toast going down to Budinsko. Ryox now trying to chase down D-Loon. He's fairly low, taunts over the wall. Can Ryox get him? He's not going to get the knock-up, and they will be able to retreat to the safety of their mid lane towers. But they do lose 1 member. Still able to secure the Rift Herald at the expense of a couple summoner spells, so No Name Necessary still going to be able to possibly knock down another tower, but they will lose their mid lane tier 1 first.
Yeah, the Rift Herald for multiple summoner spells and the mid lane turret, not quite sure if that was worth it. We'll see if No Name Necessary is able to get anything meaningful back with that Rift Herald. That'll kind of be the deciding factor on whether or not that trade was in fact worth it. But at face value, a little bit of a disadvantageful trade for them. Are able to pick it up after Buster Toast sitting on that for quite a while. He definitely put in some work trying to take that Herald down. Then D-Loon securing it with the flash taunt over the wall.
Reign of Kings going to be able to grab their 3rd tier 1 tower here as they siege on the top side, trying to chase down Umira. They are going to force out the heal. Pectus has arrived for help. The Xerath ultimate not quite enough to take down Umira as he walks away with a sliver of health there. But Reign of Kings looking to continue the pressure here on the top side. Buster Toast, you see Elastic slingshot in. Weimel trying to take down ZG and Penguin. The explosive charge onto the Zac is going to knock him down, but a good shockwave there is able to force out the heal of Budinsko as he rocket jumps away.
Got a lot of really good shockwaves coming out by Pectus. Unfortunately, not a lot of follow-up there in that fight.
Correction, that was the heal of Weimel, but Pectus going to go down there.
Yeah, Weimel able to get a very good combo onto Pectus, you know, from the back line. Their specialty, able to get that damage down from so far away. Gets Pectus low, and Jordan is able to secure that kill with the cask, the ultimate thrown out behind that turret. So good aim by them, able to land all those skill shots and take Pectus down. And you see the sieging power of this team that Reign of Kings have set up. Tristana able to fire away on those turrets with Zera just constantly poking away at the back line. We see items starting to be completed for both sides. Ezreal has his Iceborne Gauntlet, has his Mirror Mana fully stacked up. Both Orianna and Xerath are working on stacking up their Archangel Staff. We see the items for the tanks starting to come in as well. Shen has his Adaptive Helm, try to deal with all of that AP coming out from Reign of Kings. Ornn built himself a Righteous Glory, wants to get in on that back line, and now Reign of Kings wants the second dragon.
Yeah, the second Cloud Drake will make that even easier as well, providing that bonus move speed for Reign of Kings. But the Rift Herald has been used now on the top side. So Pectus up there working with that Rift Herald to try and take down some towers here. Looks like Reign of Kings wants to respond by just pushing down the mid lane. They seem confident that they can just push faster than Pectus and the Rift Herald can. So they may force something here in the mid lane. D-Looney and Ryox dueling on the bottom side. Kind of a wet noodle fight here as neither of them are making any sort of concerted progress there. The Rift Herald is going to get a charge on that tier 2 tower on the top side, so looks like Reign of Kings finally deciding to respond to that as Pectus kind of taking the long looping route to get out of Reign of Kings jungle.
Yeah, leave it to Wally was able to ult Weimel in behind Pectus, but good job by Pectus to see that coming in, was able to route through the jungle and get away without much incident. But one turret taken down by that Rift Herald. The tier 2 on the top lane taken pretty low, but overall not that great of a trade for that Rift Herald from No Name Necessary there. So definite advantage. We have an 11-4 advantage over to Reign of Kings, as well as one turret up. About 5,500 gold lead for this team. So they are going to be slightly ahead in these team fights. They do happen. Baron has now spawned on the Rift, so I would expect Reign of Kings to start looking around that. No Name Necessary does have really good vision control around that Baron. So as of right now, they will see any advances that Reign of Kings does make onto that Baron. They don't really have... You see Leave It to Wally trying to go in, trying to clear out some of that vision that No Name Necessary has set up for themselves. Both supports now have a locket finished, as well as the mid laners have completed their Seraph's Embraces, so they will have a hefty shield available to them in these fights. But teams starting to do the back and forth dance of trying to fight over this vision control around the Baron, the next big objective on the map, the most likely location for the next of these big team fights.
Reign of Kings looks like they want to start a siege here in the mid lane. Just the No Name Necessary bottom lane here to defend. The ultimate from the Ezreal going to try and clear out that wave, but it is not enough. That will be the 4th tower going over the Reign of Kings as they are able to just further open up the map for themselves. They are going to retreat back to the Baron. They have secured a lot of the vision around this, cleared out a majority of No Name Necessary's wards. Buster Toast wants to go in here. This just looks like a bait, though. Force the flash away. Here comes the ultimate from Ryox. Gonna knock up the Zac, but there's the ultimate from Taric. Gonna keep them alive a little bit longer as No Name Necessary is trying to kite away. Ryox tries to flash in. There's the shields. So much keeping Ezreal alive. Umaira trying to deal as much damage as he can. Good shockwave is going to catch 2. Rock's actually going to go down to ZG and Penguin there, but Reign of Kings down a little low here. Badinsko is going to try and get back into this fight, but this could be a win here for the side of No Name Necessary, trying to chase down a couple of members. Budinsko still alive, however, so is Weimel, and that's the big problem. The damage dealers are still standing. Pectus trying to chase him down. Weimel and Budinsko in full retreat. Here comes the ultimate for Ezreal. Juked out. Buster Toast is going to be able to catch out Weimel, and that's going to be the shutdown. This is going to be a good fight for No Name Necessary. Budinsko still at the ground. Another kill, but one more will go over to Myra. The shutdown there, and that's an ace for No Name Necessary. A long, drawn-out fight, but a 5-4-3 in favor of No Name Necessary, and they'll look to push a couple of lanes.
Yeah, that was really crazy fight there by both sides. You can see No Name, Reign of Kings decided to kind of bait No Name Necessary into face checking into the Baron Vision. They started their recalls and got Zach to jump in, and then thought they could turn around, was able to find a good engage onto your Myron on this Ezreal. But as you can see, the Shen ultimate, the Orianna shield, the shield coming out from Penguin, there was so much just sitting on that Ezreal, keeping him alive. Reign of Kings was able to throw everything in the kitchen sink at that Ezreal, but he was still able to survive throughout the fight. And that was kind of the deal breaker there for No Name Necessary, that Ezreal surviving. They were able to turn the fight around, and although Budinsko was able to pick up a nice double kill on the back end of that, they still did lose out on that fight 5-3. So both teams will now reset. Looks like Reign of Kings wants to set up some vision control around this dragon. Will be another Infernal, so they don't want to give this over to No Name Necessary.
Myra could be caught out here. No, just going to be able to...
Looks like he'll be okay.
Yeah, just going to be able to get
a little bit of a death bush set up here for Reign of Kings. Dylan might get caught.
Yeah, they are going to try and chain the CC here, leave it to Wally, going to munch him up as they try to take him down. Taunt isn't going to get him over the wall. There comes the ultimate from Ryok. Shockwave will land on the 2 and take Budinsko fairly low here, but Pectus trying to go down, but so many shields coming out. The Seraph's Embrace plus the Command Protect just keeping Pectus alive for so long. Now, No Name Necessary does want to try and force Reign of Kings away from this Drake. Weimel is going to get caught. CC chain coming out. Wally going to eat him up and try and spit him away. The Taric ultimate is going to cover the entire team of No Name Necessary, but it's not really mitigating a lot of damage here. Let's Bounce is going to grab a few, but Weimel's still able to grab that kill onto Buster Toast. They're trying to fire away. Myra going very low. There's the Staying United, but it's not enough. The double kill to Weimel. They're trying to chase him down. This is going to be a great fight for Reign of Kings as Budinsko takes down ZG and Penguin, just stealing and Pectus alive. But Reign of Kings can look to push. They want to grab this tier 2 on the bottom side.
Really good kiting there by the carries of Reign of Kings. The Taric ultimate coming down, as you mentioned, engulfed the whole team in that invulnerable ultimate, but they weren't able to, really contribute much to the fight during that invulnerability window. Reign of Kings did a really good job at just kind of waiting out those big cooldowns, those big ultimates, and then leave it to Wally, able to pull out a clutch save on Weimel, keeping him alive, keeping him in the fight, is one of their only 2 real damage dealers on the team. So well executed by Reign of Kings, despite the good engage by No Name Necessary and the great shock div by Pectus. Pectus has really been on point with these shockwaves this game.
Yeah, Reign of Kings trying to burn down the Baron here. They don't have any Mountain Drakes, but they're still shredding it fairly quickly. 2,000 health, under 1,000, and that's going to be the smite. Baron going over to Reign of Kings. Grabbing really a couple of big objectives there.
Yeah, really quick play, really smart by them, able to rotate right up there after the dragon. I think No Name Necessary had a suspicion that they were there. They were gone off the map for a little while, but thanks to the control ward in the pit, they did not have any vision on the Baron. Penguin going up to check that objective a little late.
There's going to be the dive as Let's Bounce from Buster Toast is going to draw out a couple, but they're getting shredded before the Taric ultimate can even come down. That's going to be the double kill for Budinsko.
Yeah, a little bit of, got a little bit excited there from Buster Toast, able to pick up one and carry it back into the team. Budinsko, nice job buffering that rocket jump to get out of the Let's Bounce, but D-Loon did not have the ultimate available. I don't think Pectus was in range to really get a good shockwave, and so just didn't have the team fighting tools available to back up that engage. And it ends up with Reign of Kings picking up another couple kills.
Yeah,
now they're just gonna walk into the jungle, try to starve out any of the resources that No Name Necessary has available. They have a huge here that they want to push down this tier 2 top turret with while they still have the Baron.
Yeah, this could be big trouble for No Name Necessary. They lose their middle inhibitor. They're going to try and defend this tower. Don't know if it's going to be enough. It will go down, but the entire No Name Necessary lineup has arrived. Great shockwave is going to catch 3. ZG and Penguin going to flash aggressively for the stun, but here comes the ultimate from Ryox. It's not going to hit anybody, but Jordan V69 still wants to fight, trying to catch out Buster Toast still. There's going to be the knockup. It's going to catch Umira, bro. He goes down, so does Buster Toast. Weimel firing away, trying to grab the backline. Pectus very low, just a sliver of health, and he is going to go down to leave it to Wally, who flashes in to grab the kill, and now they're trying to siege this top lane inhibitor. Leave it to Wally, just zoning away the remaining 2 members. D-Loon forced to flash away. The stun is going to miss, but D-Loon still may go down here, just retreating to the safety of his fountain, but it may not be enough. Baron minions getting escorted onto these Nexus towers. Budinsko just firing away, and this should be a win for Reign of Kings as they grab this first game. CJ and Penguin are going to try and defend as long as they can, stalling it out, but it's not going to be enough as the Nexus falls, and Reign of Kings takes a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, really good. That was an incredible Baron push there by Reign of Kings. Able to pick up the Baron and, you know, just take it all the way from the tier 2 to the end of the game. And you see the team fight power that they had available. Xerath sitting in that back line, able to almost completely take out Pectus on the Orianna just with the ultimate. Did miss the last few shots, but Wally able to flash in with a Tom Kench and secure that kill, taking Pectus out of the fight and allowing them to push in for the win. So really great team fights by both sides, but Reign of Kings in the end able to execute just a little better and take game 1.
Now I have to ask you at this point your thoughts on an MVP for that first game.
Ooh, so I think, wow, it's definitely a tough one when teams play compositions like this that just require, you know, just so much effort, so much coordination to win these games. It's hard to pick in a specific
Uh-oh, did we lose your audio? Are you just adrenaline today? We may have lost audio there. So we are going to just move on to prep for this second game as we look to get him back here in just a moment. But Reign of Kings able to take a 1-0 lead in this series after an impressive first game, closing out with that great Baron push to give them the lead in this series.
Sorry
Hey,
about
got you
that.
back.
Yeah, I know. They're doing some maintenance on the internet here, like they're always doing, and so I guess it just disconnected for a little bit, and I didn't notice.
That is quite all right. We do have you back now, though, so I think we'll be just fine here. But did you have a selection?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much you heard of that, but
I heard
said
you
Weimel.
say it was hard, but okay, Weimel.
Yeah.
I think that's a good pick. I mean, most damage in the game at just over 26,000. I think it was 7-2 and 11, 7-2 and 12. Impressive scoreline, and definitely was a big part of clearing out the back line of No Name Necessary, and a lot of those fights was just throwing out so much damage throughout that game.
Yeah, I think the reason I think he was the main factor of their win there is because although No Name Necessary had so much engage available, they were never able to comfortably use that engage because their backline was always so low, because Wymo was always poking them out. If that Tristana, or not the Tristana, if that Ezreal and if that Orianna had always been full health, then I don't think that Zach would have had any problem at just constantly diving into the backline. I think the Tark ultimate would have immediately come out. But with them always being so low, because Wymo was poking them down, they were always just a little afraid to dive in. And so it kind of just allowed Reign of Kings to walk all over them, because they always had to be afraid that their carries are going to get blown up.
Yeah, and certainly honorable mention there to leave it to Wally. Had a couple of great saves.
Clutch saves.
Yeah, on the Tom Kench, so he certainly performed well. So
Tom
definitely
Kench
credit
is
to him.
so annoying to play against. Leave it to Wally says, I didn't even know we had a Xerath. Most damage on the game, didn't even know he was there.
All right, well, we will be getting this game going momentarily, folks. We're going to take just a short break here as we try to get the teams ready for game number 2 between No Name Necessary and Reign of Kings. Alrighty, folks, we are back here for game number 2 between No Name Necessary and Reign of Kings, seeing both teams swap sides. So No Name Necessary will be on the blue side, and they actually were forced to bring in a new free agent. So they do have the Shadow Isles now playing top lane for them in place of D-Loon.
Yeah, unfortunately, D-Loon had to split. Shadow Isles, though, stepping up for No Name Necessary. Shout out to him. So it looks like No Name Necessary isn't going to use any of their bans. I think technically, according to the rules, there's people that know more than me, so this might be wrong, but I think technically they still only lose their second draft phase bans.
Yeah, I guess it would just depend on what the how their
What they
conversation
decided.
went with the referees. So I would definitely default over to the referees on any of these decisions. So as of right now, it just looks like no bans.
Yeah, so no bans on the side of No Name Necessary. On the side of Reign of Kings, though, Jarvan, the first ban coming out, just wanting to take away some of those early game junglers that can really just take over the map on their own. Jarvan can be so deadly if he is able to get out, especially those first 3 levels. So much damage coming out from that champion. We've seen him take over matches completely on his own, able to get his lane so far ahead. Xayah as well, one of the premier AD carries at the moment, especially if she is able to be partnered up with her lover Rakan. It's a oppressive duo in the bot lane. And what will the next ban be for No Name Necessary? Can you predict it, Yeso?
Nothing. Hey, wow. I got it.
That was impressive. I did not see that one coming.
I'm smart.
Unfortunately, still no bans available for No Name Necessary. The third ban, though, coming through for Reign of Kings is Swain. Swain, after his buffs, has been kind of tearing up a lot of lanes, the top lane, the mid lane. I've seen him support a couple times. It's not a fun time, but definitely a very strong champion right now. But first pick will go over to No Name Necessary. They will get to choose something, and they are hovering the Cho'Gath.
Yeah, they are allowed to select champions.
Yes, they can do that. They don't have to play without champions. Yeah. Caitlyn locked in as the first pick for No Name Necessary. Want some more lane priority. Want to, really control those objectives. They kind of fell behind in last game. The Ezreal, although it did offer
lost audio again there, folks. He'll be back momentarily, but the first pick for Reign of Kings will be the Jax, followed up by the Braum that will go to leave it to Wally. So no Tom Kench ban, but still looks like Reign of Kings wants to swap it up as they do grab that big tank with the very big shield for their support. Now we'll have to see what No Name Necessary wants to respond with.
I think I'm just going to get a permanent name change to Adrenaline after this match. Jackson Braum, you already talked about that.
Would certainly be fitting.
Yes. At least I can hear everything that's going on. I can still hear Yeso's beautiful voice.
You're so sweet.
But Warwick and Sion picked up for Reign of Kings. Big, beefy front line, but also lots of damage. Kind of more on the damage side of the tanks available. Plus some good engage offering. Cho'Gath picked up for Reign of Kings. Have to remember that the sides are swapped right now. Cho'Gath, very strong in the top lane, able to sustain so much because of his passive. So even if Sion is able to kind of poke him down in that lane, as long as he is able to keep it a 1v1, as long as there isn't too much intervention from the rest of the team, Cho'Gath should be just fine in that lane, able to sustain up from the minions dying. Second round of bans, No Name Necessary. Still no bans due to the substitutions. But Renekton taken out for the side of Reign of Kings. They must not entirely trust that Sion is going into the top lane. Want to make sure that they take out one of those other premier top laners. We have seen Sion flexed into the support role before, so it's not the craziest idea. Anivia also taken out one of those scaling mid laners that is so strong with these new AP items. So we will see after the shocking ban here from No Name Necessary. Reign of Kings will have first pick in this second round of draft phase. They are hovering the Lucian. Lucian did get some nice buffs a couple patches ago, is back to his kind of lane bully state, would be able to pressure the Caitlyn a little bit, especially with the Braum, able to apply that Braum passive quite quickly with his double shot. But no, it looks like they want the Ezreal for themselves this time, so they want a little bit more safety against that Caitlyn. Caitlyn can be very oppressive with her long range, but Ezreal able to survive with his Mystic Shot and his Q, as well as Braum, kind of the forefront of the Caitlyn counters. If anybody steps on a trap, he could just jump in front with the shield, able to block so much damage. Trundle picked up on the side of No Name Necessary. Lots of kind of that triple melee front line, just wanting to get up in your face, disrupting the back line. No Name Necessary really wants to...
What is that composition? They've got a Caitlyn Jan bot lane, and then Warwick, Sion, and Trundle for the entire top side of the map.
I think Sion might be mid.
Is that going to be like an AP Sion mid?
Is Pectus going to play AP Sion? We might have a treat for you here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be easy to remember. I didn't even realize that. Well, thank you, Yeso, for pointing that out. That didn't even cross my mind.
And just all of a sudden, I looked at it, and you said triple tank, and then I saw the Janna, and I was like, wait, hello?
We might get the ultra rare AP Sion here out of Pectus. From No Name Necessary,
saying that full tank Sion mid is meta right now. You just build the same as top. That would be interesting. I mean, I guess you could just rush adaptive helm into the Vel'Koz, max your roar.
I mean, I guess that'd be cool and stuff. Still not as spicy as the full AP Sion.
Yeah.
I want to see those one-shots. I want to see those Rabadon death caps, those Luden echoes, throwing out that E, throwing out that ultimate, just blowing up squishies. But, whatever Pectus thinks is best.
We can check his rune pages using the op.gg extension on the left side of your screen, folks, for any stats on players in this game. You want to check our rune pages and all that good stuff. Just make sure to click on that extension for all of that information. Pectus did take Comet with Resolve as his secondary tree, taking Bone Plating and Second Wind. So he will have some power in the poke, but still could definitely go for the full tank build, just with a little bit of poke in lane. So we'll have to see how that one shakes out for him. Just want to remind you folks, again, thank you so much for joining us. The easiest way to support us is to come out and watch us every week here at twitch.tv/ABL Esports on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Other ways to support us as well. Consider hitting those follow and subscribe buttons at the top of your screen if you do want notifications for when we are going live. And also can get some cool emotes if you do hit that subscribe button. You can see those in that welcome message right there. Also consider donating. The donation link for ABL Esports is in the description. And for any info you need on the ABL Series stats, news, schedules, and more, make sure to head over to ablseries.com. That one linked in the description as well. We are prepping for game number 2 here between No Name Necessary and Reign of Kings. No Name Necessary looking to climb out of a possible gauntlet run. If you do head over to ablesports.com, you can head over to the standings page, and remember that the top 6 teams automatically the top 5 teams, I should say, automatically go to the bracket stage and avoid the little mini gauntlet that will be the first week of the playoffs. And No Name Necessary currently tied with Kawaii Knights for 5th at a 3-3 match record. Kawaii Knights playing GG forfeit at 15 tonight, so if No Name Necessary drops this match and Kawaii Knights wins theirs, just makes it that much more difficult for them to avoid that gauntlet. Every one of these matches is extremely important this season, so teams certainly going to be trying to avoid it as much as possible as they try to climb these standings with just 2 more weeks left in the season after tonight.
And with the teams that we do have towards the bottom of the leaderboards, although these teams are at different standings. They're all so equal. We have such a well-matched variety of teams here. So going into that gauntlet, it can really be, a pretty hefty chance that even if you are going against a team that's a few places below you, that there's a real chance that they could knock you out. So these teams wanting to avoid the gauntlet at any possible cost. But we are through the spectator delay, so we should be getting into game here very quickly.
Shout out to Mr. Audio_Adrenaline subscribing with Twitch Prime. Appreciate that, folks. Remember, if you do have Twitch Prime or you have Amazon Prime and you connect it to your Twitch account, you can get Twitch Prime, which means you get a free Twitch Prime subscription once a month. So
wow,
thank you, Audio.
Thanks, Audio Adrenaline.
Yeah,
sounds like
man.
Such a cool guy.
I mean, he sounds all right. I mean, we appreciate the contribution, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. But we are into game here. Game number 2 between No Name Necessary and Reign of Kings. You can see right near the top of your screen. Reign of Kings with the 1-0 lead. And we are starting off this one.
Not gonna lie, Yaso, I'm a little hurt. All right, No Name Necessary and Reign of Kings both moving out as 5. That's our traditional ABL start. These 5-man invades. We see this so often, though. Both teams invading as 5 will completely miss each other.
Man, I want the 5-man invades to run into each other. That's all I ask.
We see this so much. Both teams want these cheeses so bad, want to get these early first bloods, but in doing so, completely miss each other. So we'll just see. No Name Necessary didn't actually want the blue side this game. They wanted to play red side.
Minions have spawned.
So they're just going to go take over the red side jungle for themselves. But looks like Reign of Kings will just... Okay, so it looks like it will just be a trade of red buffs.
This could be big trouble here. The bot lane might get caught.
Yeah.
CGM Penguin and Umar are
careful
moving
where they
down
walk.
here. They are going to get spotted on the ward. So some poke will land.
Ooh.
They may just try to discourage this red buff take. We'll see. Maybe Umar can steal it with the Piltover Peacemaker.
Oh,
not quick enough
smite.
as Jordan V69 is able to smite that one away.
So I think that could have been even more dangerous. Ooh, Riox disconnecting. But as I was saying, I think it could have been even more dangerous if Badinsko had actually waited just a second on that Q, because Caitlyn had just taken the Blast Cone over to the red buff side, kind of in that pit area. But while he was taking the Blast Cone, Badinsko did fire out a Q at Janna, which kind of gave Caitlyn the heads up to back off there. If they'd waited a second, you know, Caitlyn might have walked up, might have net them a summoner spell or a kill. But either way, Badinsko gets a little bit of extra gold out of it. And Riox, connected again, will be back into the game. Jordan wanting to gank Pectus.
Yeah, he's going to take a lot of damage here. He is going to go down. That's going to be first blood to the Jax. He's able to get in behind the Scion. Can he take down Weimel? Not quite. Not able to trade that kill, but the Vel'Koz could be fairly low.
Pectus realizing there that probably not a lot he can do to get out of that situation. Saves the flash. Scion in the first level or two can be quite squishy. He doesn't have access to his shield or knock-up yet. Leave it to Wally trying to get a Q. Good sidestep by Umyron. Respecting the earlier level 2 from the side of Reign of Kings and sort of backing off there. But now both bot lanes are level 2. Pectus just getting bullied by Jordan.
Yeah, he ganks mid lane again as they try to just continue to keep this Scion down. Something tells me Jordan V69 may not be gone for long, as he'll probably clear camp and come right back to the mid lane. But we'll have to see how that one shakes out. Buster Toast has gotten up to the top side. They could force out a flash here from Ryox. Buster Toast goes for the flash fear, but He's going to take 2 tower shots and go fairly low there. Trading a summoner spell and actually not able to force out the flash from Ryox there. Jordan V69 now has showed up. Flash, Rupture is going to catch out Shadow Isles, and down he goes. Ryox able to grab that kill and that gank, and Reign of Kings continuing to build that lead.
Yeah, especially well played there by Ryox, saving his flash, able to get the Rupture onto Buster Toast as he comes in for that gank, which slows him down a little bit. But Buster Toast really wanted to try to burn some sort of summoner out of Ryox, so he flashed in with the fear. But Ryox knew he was going to be safe, and so he saved that flash and was able to use it on the counter gank by Jordan. And we did mention Jordan with those 2 ganks really early into the middle lane. Buster Toast was able to pick up a couple of camps. I think he was able to steal away the Raptors as well as the red buff from Jordan's red side jungle. So he is, you know, quite a few, let's see, what is that? 3 camps ahead of Jordan here. So good early lead by Buster Toast. Warwick is known to be quite a quick clearer of the jungle.
One thing to note, however, is still a gold lead for Jordan V69. About 300 gold because of the kill and the assist he's been able to grab up. And so not only has he still been able to build a lead for himself, but he actually is able to help build leads for his solo laners. So Jordan V69 still doing a good job in this early game.
See Shadow Isles putting some pressure onto Ryox, realizing that he's low on mana, but Jordan, control ward in the bush, wants to come mid again.
Waits for Pectus to activate his Q there. Is going to take quite a bit of damage here, going very low. Could they go for the dive? Jordan not confident enough that they can
flash.
Burn
Jordan had flash there, but didn't want to risk, you know, giving some gold back over to Pectus with the failed dive. Happy to just put some pressure on him.
Buster Toast has arrived in the mid lane as well. They're going to take the Scion fairly low. He isn't going to get the knockup, but Buster Toast still able to force the flash out of Jordan and the heal out of Weimel there. So good response by No Name Necessary as Jordan V69 still tries to put a concerted amount of pressure on this mid lane Scion.
And now I'm happy to see this. Pectus did pick up the Dark Seal. So although we still, you know, there's a very good chance we could still see the tank Scion. The Dark Seal keeps the possibility alive of that full AP Scion that I really want to see.
Ooh, the ultimate from Weimel just able to take down Pectus there at the end with the last bit of damage. A solo kill there for Weimel puts him at 1-0-1. His gold lead now sitting at about 500, nearly 600 ahead of Pectus on the Scion, and he's going to be able to back and grab some items and feel pretty darn good here in the early game.
Yeah, you need to be careful with that. Ooh, we have some action here in the bot lane.
Buster Toast trying to get the gank onto Budinsko, leave it to Wally, blocking a lot of damage from the Caitlyn, forcing Buster Toast to back away with the headshot from Myron, but grabs the kill as Budinsko goes down. Good gank from Buster Toast.
Yeah, that Caitlyn able to find that last headshot. Unfortunately, Braum had already used his so that wasn't available. Budinsko did go down. I believe his heal and flash were available during that fight, so maybe just underestimating that damage. Cho'Gath's Feast will be up soon, but Shadow Isles did use ult.
He actually goes for the flash. Ryox seemed to think that he was already dead. Used the Feast, but it wasn't enough to take down Shadow Isles, and that will be the solo kill now for him in the top side ahead on this Trundle. Jordan V69 going to try and take him down as well as Myron by putting a lot of pressure on the bottom side, and Shadow Isles just able to escape from that Jax.
Yeah, good job by Shadow Isles, able to get away. And then Myron, you can see the power of this Caitlyn, especially in the early game with all the range she has available to just continuously take pot shots at the enemy ADC, the enemy support, with these putting traps everywhere. You know, the lane really becomes, you know, a battlefield. You have to watch your every step, where at any moment, if you step just a little too far forward, be taking a good chunk of damage from that Caitlyn.
Buster Toast could be in big trouble here. He is going to get stunned by the counter strike Weimel not able to collapse and team up with his jungler there as Pectus goes in aggressively. Buster Toast trying to get to the mid lane here as well as we're dueling kind of all across the map here. Ryox roaming down to the mid lane, trying to go for this dive. Possibly he's tanking. This should be fairly easy to go for, but they actually aren't able to get after Pectus. He's able to stay safe under this tower. Reign of Kings will continue to push here, and Jordan may be able to zone them away from this tower. Ryox as well. The Rupture will miss. So will the poke from Weimel. Penguin has arrived in the mid lane as well. Jordan going to jump to his teammate. Not a lot of damage coming out here, though. Good ultimate from Penguin will actually knock Ryox into the team, but still able to walk away. And kind of a weird back and forth fight here, but nobody goes down in the mid lane.
Yeah, lots of fights all over the map. The camera just switching from one angle to another. Good first turret taken by Trundle. Ezreal did try to use the True Shot Barrage to clear out some of the minions up there, but Trundle still able to pick up that first turret. But Reign of Kings able to recognize that and moving over, taking up that Cloud Drake for themselves. Lots of Cloud Drakes this series. Teams want to go fast.
Yeah, and one thing I do want to note here is there's kind of a big scaling problem for the side of No Name Necessary. They really have no magic damage in this lineup. You've got the Caitlyn, a little bit of magic damage coming out from Pectus, but outside of that, they're all attack damage, and it's going to make Ryox's build very straightforward, Leap to Wally's build very straightforward, just heavily itemize on the armor. So they
why
could have
we
a
need the
big
full
problem
AP
in the late game.
Scion.
You know what? You could certainly
I'm
make a
telling you,
good
Pectus.
argument for it, but it doesn't look like he's going to go for it. Has picked up the locket here, could build into, he has the
Aegis.
The Aegis. And making me forget things, but could go into the locket or the Banner of Command. Jordan V69 and Buster Toast dueling here. Pectus keeping Weimel from roaming to help his jungler, but gonna take a bit of damage. Ryox has come down here again as they're looking to take down the mid laner. He's gonna be forced to ultimate away. Buster Toast in big trouble now, is going to get stunned. Flashes
nice
over the wall,
flash.
just able to escape, but not for long, as the ultimate over the wall from Weimel helps Jordan secure that kill. Now Pectus trying to run away. His counter-strike up yet. He is going to get missed, actually, by the Q there from Leave It to Wally. There's the Glacial Fissure. The Braum going to tank the tower. The concussive blows going to help them grab that kill, but down goes the Braum. Now Pectus trying to chase down Ryox here. Not going to be able to grab the kill, but a 2-for-1 trade there. Not too bad for No Name Necessary after it looked like it was just going to be a couple of free kills.
Yeah, well played by Pectus there. Really good mechanics. Able to dodge out on a lot of skill shots there. Dodge the initial Braum Q, which delayed the stacks of concussive blow, forcing Braum to use that ultimate. And just buying time for his team to get there and trade back a kill on the backside of that. So good juking there by Pectus. But it does look like Pectus did go for the Banner of Command. It's a very popular item on Scion, even though the stacking now from Baron and Banner of Command is no longer multiplicative. It is only additive right now, so that synergy was nerfed quite heavily. You don't get your super cannon minions from the Baron and the Banner of Command.
Could get a fight here on the bottom side. There's the teleport from Shadow Isles as they're trying to get on to Badinsko. Teleport coming in from Ryox as well as they're all trying to arrive. Good ultimate from the Janna there is going to keep them in place for a little while longer. Leave It to Wally going to go down here. The kill going over to Shadow Isles. Do they go for the dive here? Ryox is fairly low. There's the ultimate from Umira, but not able to take him down, but Shadow Isles is able to finish off the double kill to the Trundle. And now a lead for No Name Necessary. They're going to look to take down this tower. Should be pretty quick there. And now about a 2,000 gold lead in favor of No Name Necessary. Jordan dueling against Pectus here at the Rift Herald. Jordan actually tanking both Rift Herald and the Scions
Rift Herald's on
damage.
Pectus' side right now.
Yeah, No Name Necessary Rift Herald here is No Name Necessary actually still pushing on the bottom side, able to take down a tier 2 as well as the response is slow. from Reign of Kings. Now Weimel activating the ultimate over the wall. Jordan going very low. Are they going to be able to take him down?
Oh!
And he's going to jump over the wall, but not
something.
fast enough. Peck is able to complete that auto attack before Jordan can get away, and still able to get the kill in return. A 1-for-1 trade there.
Peck is putting himself on the board now, 1-4. Not the greatest start from him. 1-4, 40 CS down, but did have a lot of attention from Jordan early on there.
Could see a fight here in the mid lane. ZGM Penguin to go down very low, and Tawali actually able to grab that kill as Janna not able to handle all that poke coming out from Weimel. Buster Toast going to go very low here, and Weimel able to grab that kill as well. So it's now just Umairabra here to defend this mid lane tower, and that's going to go down very, very easily. Caitlyn forced to just back away and give that one up.
It's a very big tower for the side of Reign of Kings. That first mid lane turret really just opens up the map, allows them to get into either side of the jungle, start putting down some vision, start choking out resources. So really good objective take from them. So see Santa Braum riding off to his base on his sled of Boros. Weimel now completed his Archangel Staff, will have that starting to stack up, as well as Ezreal has his tier stacking up, did go for the
And Ravs can just not handle Shadow Isles when he has his ultimate available. Forced to flash away there in the 1v1 as the Trundle just continues to bully the Cho'Gath in the top lane.
And that is one thing I wanted to mention earlier when you were talking about the scaling for the side of No Name Necessary. Although they do not have any magic damage, which forces Reign of Kings to build these armor, allows them to stack this armor. It's going to be really great for this Trundle. He can just pick this target, pick the Cho'Gath or pick the Braum, and when he ults them, he's going to get so much resistances and is able to become that frontline tank that...
I don't know if it's going to be able to deal with Weimel, as he was just able to shred through Buster Toast with his ultimate and grab now his 4th kill of the game. 4-0-4 on this Vel'Koz, and looks like they're going to turn for a second Cloud Drake here. You mentioned all these Cloud Drakes. Riot's just saying, hey, just try our new Drake, guys. We're going to make it spawn in every single game. Quote unquote.
See, Cloud Drake, even before the updates, Cloud Drake was actually my favorite Drake.
Oh my god, goodbye, Penguin.
Bye.
The burst coming out from Weimel, and Jordan V69 absolutely deleting the No Name Necessary support.
Yeah, Weimel here, 4-0-5. Has the Archangel Staff, has his Sorcerer's Shoes completed, as well as sitting on a Blasting Wand, has lots of AP, especially with the true damage burst, if he lands his full combo, is very strong.
And nearly fully stacked on that Archangel. It's at about 630 stacks, so very close to becoming that Seraph's Embrace and adding more defensive power with the shield that comes with it.
Yeah, and it's getting ever closer, already now up to almost 660 since you mentioned that.
Oh, Umairabra could go down here, flashes away, but not able to get away from the knock-up, and the ultimate just too far.
Feels bad. Umairabra doing his best to... Umairabra doing his best to dodge out on those abilities, but Weimel able to land everything. Reacts just being an annoying dinosaur, stopping Pectus's backs there in the bush. We do see a Catalyst coming out.
Just getting so much damage out, forcing Buster Town down so low and able to secure the kill there, along with the assistance of his support. This spell causes an absolute menace.
In the bot lane. But we do see Pectus did pick up a Catalyst of Aeons. Now that can build into a number of tank items, but I am still going to hold out hope that is actually going into a Rod of Ages.
Oh,
and that Pectus is going for this high health AP build.
At 18 minutes into the game, that would certainly be a risky buy. I mean, that's stacking. Given just the gold he's sitting at right now, I mean, he wouldn't have that stacked up till at least 30 minutes. That would be such a risky build.
I have hope. He did pick up the Null Magic Mantle, so that's most likely going into something more tank-oriented. Most likely the Abyssal Mask, but that also could be the start of a Banshee's Veil. You never know.
We'll have to see. Yeah, he's just piecemealing his Banshee's Veil and his Rod of Ages at the same time.
You know, this is those next level mind games. He wants Reign of Kings to believe that he is going for this tank build so that they won't build the magic resist, so they will stack all this armor, when in reality he's just piecing together all of these different parts of his full AP build, and so when it gets to those late game team fights, he's just going to one-shot everybody.
Best bait, NA. From
Pectus already playing in the year 3000. Oh my god, the heals coming out of Shadow Isles there from his ult.
Buster Toast actually missing the ultimate there in the mid lane. Weimel just going to activate his ult, however. Buster Toast going fairly low. The concussive blows could take him down, and Budinsko actually able to grab that kill. The tier 2 tower will go down, leave it to Wally. Gonna die here. Pectus going fairly low. Here comes the poke. The shields from ZG and Penguin going to keep him alive just a little bit longer, but ooh, the Janna could be in big trouble. There's the ultimate from the Caitlyn, but not doing enough damage to Weimel. Budinsko's going to go in for the double kill and will be able to secure it as Umaira Bro goes down. Now Pectus trying to just grab these waves. The shield from Saracen Braze keeping Weimel a little longer, but yeah, Shadow Isles able to avoid the CC. Pectus going to go fairly low here, but that could be big trouble. Weimel probably going to go down, and Budinsko could as well. Pectus trying to chase him down in his undead form. The ultimate for Budinsko actually going to miss. That's the wrong way. Ezreal heal is going to come out as he tries to escape. Ryox has arrived for the help, and he's going to be able to force Shadow Isles away, so saving his 80 carry's life. Said, don't worry, Budinsko, you may ult the wrong way, but I know where to drop my Rupture.
But Shadow Isles quickly healing up here. Almost has his ultimate back available if this fight does last long enough.
Buster Toast going fairly low, though. The Feast from Ryox not going to be able to take him down, but Shadow Isles actually goes down to the 80 carry. The double kill again for Budinsko as he takes down Umairabus. As quickly as he's alive, he goes down one more time. Pectus, yeah, trying to escape, knocked up by the Rupture. Chained with the concussive blows. He's going to go very low here. Budinsko, you got to be careful, dude. Pectus is going to still try and chase you down, man. But not quick enough. That will be another kill for the side of Reign of Kings, now up 19-10, about a 4,500 gold lead. They look to continue to try and snowball here, as it was still mentioned, despite the Trundle, still a big scaling problem for No Name Necessary with the rest of their lineup.
Yeah, absolutely, and the Shadow Isles in that fight looked like he was trying. Ooh, we do have a fight here.
Rax with another big bait. I'm waiting for the ultimate from Weimel. It's available. Doesn't even have to use it yet. Gonna deal out the damage onto Shadow Isles. There's the ultimate now, and down goes the Trundle as Weimel just shreds through the top laner, and now they'll turn back, look for a 22-minute Baron.
Yeah, and you were talking about that scaling issue that is coming out, you know, from the side of No Name Necessary, and you know, if you're on No Name Necessary, you look at the enemy team, you look at the team of Reign of Kings, and you see that there is this 7-1, you know, Weimel on this Vel'Koz. I don't see, you know, much magic resist. I see some, you know, magic resist coming out from Pectus, but other than that, there isn't a whole lot in the way of MR for the side of No Name Necessary, which is just allowing Weimel, you know, with these ultimates to just absolutely shred through all of the health that is stacked up. You see now people are starting to go back and get these Merc treads and whatnot, but
definitely a late response from No Name Necessary in their builds to deal with this Vel'Koz.
Absolutely, and Budinsko also picking up the Mortal Reminder. Very good early buy from him on that item to start to cut down through the healing of Shadow Isles when he does use that ultimate on one of those tanks.
Now Reign of Kings with that Baron trying to siege down in the mid lane. They've got 3 members here in Jordan B69 and Budinsko gonna arrive here shortly. Shadow Isles will have a little bit of the flank. There's the ultimate from Pectus, will not land onto Weimel, so certainly a lot less effective, but Shadow Isles has gotten into the backline. That will make his front line's life a little easier, but he goes down so fast as Ryox is able to grab that kill. This could be the fight for the game. Buster Toast gonna get shredded through by Weimel's ultimate. Pectus can't chase him down, and Reign of Kings 4 for 0 in that fight, and the Janna, the only one left to defend the base. This could be the game. They're going to take the middle inhibitor. They've got quite a minion wave here following them. Leave it to Wally, going to tank the tower, but Reign of Kings could grab this game as they're on to the Nexus towers.
And there we go. Reign of Kings takes game 2.
Yeah, they're going to knock down these Nexus towers, move on to the Nexus, and respond. They drop a match to Full Send Gaming, but turn it right around and grab the 2-0 as they still look to secure a first round bye. "24-minute victory there for Reign of Kings as they grab that Baron and close the game out in clean fashion.
Yeah, very good job by them. A little bit of a drafting error by the side of No Name Necessary, drafting all AD into their composition, allowing the tanks of Reign of Kings to just get to that unkillable state so quickly, and then Weimel just absolutely tearing apart this mid lane Scion with the help of his jungler. Able to constantly bully Pectus in that early game, put him so far behind, and just create a huge lead for himself. I think he was, close to a 50 CS lead there around the 15-20 minute mark. Just absolutely insane. And so he was able to really just take over the game, and especially taking advantage of the very little amount of magic resist that was on the side of No Name Necessary.
Now I have to ask you again for the final time tonight. I need an MVP for this series. I have certainly an idea myself, and I think you might agree, but I'm curious for your opinion.
Yeah, I think the answer to that question comes from the damage charts that you just pulled up. Looking, Weimel 24,000 damage in that 24-minute game. So putting out, that 206 damage tacked onto there actually puts him just above the 1,000 damage per minute mark, which is pretty insane. And if you look at his true damage, he did over 7,000 true damage as well. So I think Weimel definitely my MVP for this series again, as well as the first game. So Weimel would be my series MVP as well. Just played exceptionally well in this game as well as the last one. With the Xerath and the Vel'Koz, was able to land such consistent poke onto the back line of No Name Necessary, always keeping them at low health bars, always making them question every move that they made. So Weimel, deadly accurate on both of those champions, gets my MVP vote for both game 1, 2, and the series as a whole.
Definitely an impressive performance there by the Reign of Kings mid laner. And we are going to get an interview here momentarily.
Leave it to Wally, thinking he had a Xerath that game instead of the Vel'Koz, as he didn't even know he had a Xerath the first game. And I would like to mention, although Weimel did get my MVP votes for both games, I think that Reign of Kings did play exceptionally well just as a whole. All parts of their team, they had incredible macro play, able to roam around the map very well. It was really a team effort to get their carry so far ahead. Leave it to Wally doing such a great job in the first game with the Tahm Kench, able to save his carries time and time again, and as well as in the second game, able to block just so much damage and so much engage coming out from No Name Necessary. The jungler able to roam around the map, get leads for his lanes, and so just a really great job by the entire team.
We are now joined by Ryox, the top laner for Reign of Kings. Weimel was not available, but we do have Ryox here. And I just want to ask you, Ryox, one, congratulations on the win. Good response to your loss to Full Send Gaming last week. And I just want your initial feelings after closing out this 2-0.
Yeah, thanks. Definitely feels good to come back after losing last week and pick up this series. It's good for the team morale, definitely.
Now, I want to ask you, you guys dropped that match last week to Full Send Gaming, and I think Weimel made a good point. He sent a message in the ABL server about how it really can't be characterized as a downward spiral. You guys have been at the top all season, and it's just one loss, and especially to a strong team like that. But I'm curious, what was the mentality of the team like after that series? How were you guys down, or were you able to recognize hey, it's just one, we were bound to lose one eventually?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, we were fairly upset about it, a little bit tilted, but I mean, we knew Full Send Gaming was good going into that series. We'd scrimmed them. They beat us in the scrims as well. We tend to have nights where we're off and we play like crap, and we tend to have nights where we're really good. So it's almost like a 50-50 with our team, which kind of team you're gonna get out of us. But as far as losing to them, no, we just took the loss, and then we just give it like a day or so and come back, and we're all refreshed and go from there.
Audio, any questions from you?
Yeah, so you guys, are right there at the top of the leaderboards. As far as playoffs are concerned, what are your guys' expectations? Do you see yourself winning it all, or are you just expecting to, are you just looking for a certain step in playoffs?
Oh no, we definitely win it all. Next time we play Full Send Gaming, we 2-0 them the series guaranteed. Yeah, we're taking it all.
All right, that's bold. I like it.
Definitely going to be excited to hopefully see that in the postseason. Would definitely be a very hype matchup to get in a best of 5. Now, you guys take down No Name Necessary. You guys have one match left on the season, and I believe since you guys beat Reborn Gaming, you guys hold any tiebreakers. So I believe with this W, you guys have secured a first-round bye. With that in mind, are you guys looking to possibly try some things out here before the end of the regular season to maybe, expand some strategies or try some new picks? Or are you guys really just going to kind of nail it down, keep the discipline, and look to end the season just on another strong victory?
Yeah, we probably won't be trying anything. We're just going to finish it out on a good note. I mean, like they've mentioned in the past, we also play in the other league. We kind of try out different comps and stuff in that league as well, which we're currently in second place in that league as well. But no, we're definitely going to try to finish strong and keep playing the stuff we know how to play.
Audio, any final questions from you?
No, I think we have definitely covered quite a bit. Thank you so much, Ryox, for stepping in and talking to us, and congratulations on your win today.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for casting, and it's nice to finally talk to you guys after the full season.
Appreciate it, Ryox. Hey, man, if you guys continue to perform like you did today, something tells me we will be talking again in the future.
Right on. Sounds good.
Alrighty, folks. That was Ryox, the top laner for the victorious Reign of Kings, as they're able to grab a 2-0 victory over No Name Necessary to move to 7-1 in match record. And I believe essentially lock up that first round bye. So impressive performance by them, and a good response after dropping that series to Full Send last week. So good on them for keeping their composure and coming out and taking care of business tonight. Audio, any final thoughts on this series from you?
I think overall, Reign of Kings just played exceptionally well. I think they won out in the draft phase in the second game, but the first game, since the drafts were so equal, you really got to see, their macro play, and just really why they're such a top tier team. I'm still a little upset that we didn't get to see the full AP Scion, but I definitely understand why Pectus chose to build the way he did. I'm not saying I'm mad, I'm just disappointed. But yeah, I definitely think No Name Necessary put up a great fight, and Pectus, even though he was camped so hard in that early game, was still found use in the game. So good game by both sides, but Reign of Kings in the end was just able to show, why they're the number 2 team in the league right now.
Definitely another impressive win from them. So congratulations, and hoping to see No Name Necessary continue to progress in this season. Wow.
That was
a little bit of voice crack, just perma puberty here on my voice, folks. That just means
audio
we need
glitch.
Yeah, right. That was just my computer. But I think that's just a signal that we do need to close things up here. One last reminder, again, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We appreciate everybody coming out to watch. We're nearly at 8,000 stream views, which is really, really cool.
Man.
And that just means that we are getting just consistently people coming out to watch, and we certainly appreciate it. And we hope, if you guys know anybody else that would be interested in watching the league and enjoying it, please just shout us out. We certainly would love to bring the ABL series to as many people as possible, and the best way to do that is come out and support us every week. Come and watch every Monday and Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Remember, we will be back next week with week number 8, our final 2 weeks of the regular season. Other ways to support us: follow and subscribe. Those buttons are at the top of your screen. If you want some cool emotes, make sure you do subscribe. If you want to consider donating, that link is in the description as well. If you guys need any info about the ABL series, do it for what?
Do it for the emotes.
Do it for the emotes, man. Zohan and Beeloon, man, they're very worth it. But if you guys need any news, stats, standings, and all that good stuff about the ABL series, make sure to head over to ablseries.com. That link is in the description as well. And that's going to do it for us, folks. My name's Yeso. It's been a pleasure casting for you guys tonight. For myself, audio, everybody at ABL Esports, and all those good folks over at the ABL series, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see y'all again next time.
Bye.